of the Vaibhav Shetty experience beyond the gloves. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, Facebook, and on millions.co. My guest today, who will just be joining us, is a legend from the Philippines. Let me just try and bring him in.
Hindi nakakatulog si Sip. Hello.
Hey, Rolando. Welcome to the Vaibhav Shetty experience.
Thank you so much for inviting me here.
Great. I'm glad you're here, and I was just introducing you to the audiences who are watching. So, for those who don't know, you should know this person because he's a legend fighting out of Philippines. The very first MMA world champion from the Philippines. Am I right?
Yeah, I was the first MMA world champion in UA Warriors in Philippines. I am the first Filipino to do it.
The first Filipino to do it. He was an ex UFC fighter as well. Uh, Although I did not have a long career in the UFC, but you had a fight of the night out there. You had an amazing career in Brave, and now a different career path, bare knuckle boxing. And the knockout you did and the Conor McGregor walk after that was incredible to watch, Ronaldo. That was amazing.
Thank you so much. I love fighting. That's what make me happy.
Right. Again, thank you for joining our show. And for those, again, people who don't know Rolando's, or should I call you Rolando? Should I call you D? What do you prefer?
Gab.
Gab. Okay, Gab it is. So for those of you who don't know Gab, he comes from. I mean, his father used to be a WBC world champion at super featherweight. I know
Yeah.
you don't have the best relationship with your father right now, but you definitely have carried on the fighting genes, and
Yes.
you carved out a legacy all on your own. That has been amazing to watch.
Thank you so much.
So, Rolando, tell me. I mean, tell the audiences a little bit about yourself. What do you want the audiences to know about you?
I'm Rolando Gabriel D. My friend called me Gab. I'm the head coach and team leader and the owner of the Incredible Fighting Fitness Center. And I was a former UFC fighter, and I'm a world champ. I was a world champion in MMA and UA Warriors, the first Filipino to do it. I was the fighter of the year in Brave Combat Federation in 2020,
Mhm.
and I'm a father, and I'm a father, a fighter, and a husband.
A father, a fighter, and a husband. That's an amazing way to end that, Rolando. Gab. So, you got two beautiful daughters, right?
Yes.
Uh, do you see them going into the fight game? Because I know your wife, your beautiful wife, she's also a fighter. Because I've seen some videos of her competing as well.
Yeah, he was Kyokushin karate. He was a Kyokushin karate champion.
Right. So it's
As-
a fighting family through and through.
yeah, the genetics of my wife plus my genetics
Mhm.
champion champion genetics. So I think I me I'm a May world champion. My wife is a Kyokushin national champ. And the grandfather was a WBC boxing champ. So if I think one of my daughters or maybe two of them will enter the combat sports in the future. I will not force them, but if they want to do it, I can't stop them if that's
Right.
what they want.
Right. Sometimes it's in the genes. You may not want. I mean, you may not force them. They may not take up the fight game, but whatever they take up, looking at the success you have had and your wife has had, I'm sure they'll be successful no matter what they take. Right. So, Gab, you switched from MMA to bare knuckle boxing fairly recently. What?
Yes,
Why was the jump? I mean, did you not want to compete in MMA anymore, or did you not get the right contracts? How did that happen?
because it's easier.
Okay.
I'm not the same, the incredible 5 years ago. I'm not saying that I don't work that hard, but I'm not the because I'm not just fighting locally in MMA.
Right.
I'm fighting in the highest level. I'm fighting those monsters in Kazakhstan, in Kyrgyzstan, in
Yeah.
Europe. those guys, who sleep who sleep in and eat inside the gym.
Right.
They don't even go to school. Some of them doesn't even go to school. They just train every day.
Yeah.
They're them, especially in Kyrgyzstan
Mhm.
and Dagestan. All of them are training to be warriors, to be champion. And now I'm a father. I
Mhm.
am a team leader. I'm a husband. I have a lot of responsibilities in my hands.
Right.
So it's hard to go. I accepted the fact that it's hard to be a world champion again. It's hard to win, at least even win at that level, if I'm not that focused anymore. So now in BKB it's easier. Um, it's easier. I just need to train boxing
Right.
and make my boxing really good. That is applicable in BKB kind
Mhm.
of style, and just focus on making my hands more powerful, my reflexes, my defense, my footwork, etc. Just one art. I'm just practicing one art, which is bare knuckle boxing, and I don't need to wrestle anymore. I don't need to do jiu-jitsu anymore.
Mhm.
And after I spar boxing, my day is done. And
Uh,
in MMA, after you spar boxing, your day is not done. You just need to sleep 4 hours, then you need to wrestle again. I mean,
yeah.
you need to train like twice a day. So
Right.
I don't have the energy and the focus to do that because, like I said, I'm a father now and a husband and a coach, etc.
Right. No, I completely understand that. It gets more and more difficult. And like you said, those people in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, those countries, they do nothing but fight. Uh,
Yeah,
so
and they are
that's surprising to
being
watch. Yeah.
supported by
I'm sorry.
they are they are being supported by the government.
They are. Yeah.
The leader of Dagestan and the leader of Chechnya support
Yeah.
the you know they
Right.
giving a lot for the fighters,
Mhm.
training, etc., coaches, nutrition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And you have been doing this all on your own. Everything for your planning, your fight planning, your nutrition, it's been on your own.
For the longest time, yes. Yeah, I did a lot of research because Google is free.
Yeah.
How how to weight cut. I did a lot of research, but in boxing style, I have a boxing coach,
Okay.
and in conditioning, I have a conditioning coach. So yeah, that's basically I have two coaches now.
Right.
Especially I'm just PKB, so I have two coaches, the strength conditioning coach and
Mhm.
boxing coach, Coach Marlon and Coach Norman.
Oh, so kudos to those coaches. They've done. I mean, you already are a world champion talent, and they just need to polish the diamond a little more. But they've done
Thank
a wonderful job, so that's amazing.
thank you.
Right. Um, I have been interacting with Nick Chapman as well of BKFC Asia, and BKFC Asia is where you first fought. Uh,
Yeah.
and we were all expecting you to have a BKFC Asia title fight because we all expected you be a BKFC Asia champion and then go for the world championship out there.
But
But that didn't seem to
first
work out.
plan.
I'm sorry.
That's my first plan. That's supposed to be
Yeah.
my
So that didn't work out. What happened over there?
actually David Chapman is a great guy. He believes in me, but he actually uh he has a problem because the BKFC US they he need to get a go signal and of course like support from the BKFC US about the plan in Asia.
Right.
And the plan doesn't materialize for longest time, for a very long time, like 8 months.
Hmm.
I was waiting for my championship fight for
Right.
8 months, and I saw my wife working really hard.
Hmm.
So I said, I mean, I can't watch my wife like earning and providing for the family without me doing anything.
Right.
So I said I'll transfer to BK. I might because BKB has been offering me to fight for them since
Hmm.
2019.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I asked them if they're offer if they still they still want me.
Hmm.
So Freeman, boss David Freeman said, if we really want you, we want you. We will fly you here in England if you ever sign exclusive contract. But the problem is you can't fight anywhere in a bare knuckle boxing. So I can't find big apes anymore.
Yeah.
So I look it up and I need to decide. And I ask Nick
Hmm.
if what's the plan in BKFC Asia? What's happening? And that time, Boss Nick that is not sure yet. He said the plan is not there yet
Hmm.
because the BKFC US didn't give a good go signal yet. So I said, okay, I respectfully, Boss Chapman, Boss Nick, we're not rich yet. I need to provide for my family. I can't wait for the title shot anymore because I really need to fight for my family. And my gym is not that my gym is a fight gym. That's my playground. It's not a commercial gym, so it doesn't earn a lot.
Hmm.
Just a fight gym. So
Right.
I really fight. So I decided with the approval of Bosnick, I decided to sign with BKBTM and Fieldman for exclusive contract and a few years in bare knuckle boxing.
Mhm.
So they offered me right away a killer. His name is Josh Hilliard.
Yeah.
And I fought monsters my whole career. So
Hmm.
that's the same thing in BKB. Of whoever they will offer me, I'll fight it. So I took it.
Hmm.
Okay, then now we will tomorrow, next week we will fight, and let's see who is the better BKB fighter,
Right.
a high level MMA striker or a high level boxer. Let's see.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I know. The one thing I love about you, right, is your attitude, because you don't hold back on anything. Whether
Uh,
it's trolls online or the opponents who come in front of you, you have no fear. You just go all out. So that's amazing. So tell me about your preparation for this fight. So like you said, this guy is a killer, and he's a professional boxer. He's used to traditional boxing as opposed to you. Like you have eaten elbows, knees, wrestling, slams, you name it. So there's a different conditioning that you have compared to him. How do you think you have an advantage, or do you think because of his boxing background he has some sort of an advantage? What do you think?
I think it's supposed to be. He should have a advantage because he's a professional boxer. He's a WBC Confederation champ, and he have a lot of good. He has a good boxing resume. He's one of the best in England, in London.
Hmm.
But I I examine his background.
Uh-huh.
I need to because I always examine who will I fight.
Right.
Not only his skills, his mentality, his background, his focus, his his weaknesses, mentally, emotionally, etc. I research about him.
Hmm.
So I researched that I know a lot of about his past. I know that he was not training for a very long time.
Hmm.
So he has this. He's just coming back from to fighting career, and
Okay.
and I was training since I started tre fighting. I was training. I was very disciplined.
Hmm.
I may have a lot of problems, but I'm always training. I'm always fit. I'm mentally strong.
Hmm.
So I think that's my advantage in that fight because he never quit training. He
Right.
quit training. He turned his back on fighting, and he's coming back again. I never
Okay.
turn back on fighting. I always train.
Mhm.
I'm a martial artist by blood, so I always train. And he is just coming back. I mean, even he have two big AB fights already.
Right.
He's just he's still coming back, and I'm always training. I'm always fighting for years. So I think that's my advantage.
Right. No, I would love to see you win that fight, in a spectacular fashion. That is my hope because I'm a big fan of your work and your fighting style, Gab. So
Thank you.
yeah, and the biggest difference that we've seen, right? These are 2-minute fights, from what I understand, bare knuckle
Yeah.
fighting, and you've been used to 5-minute fights in the past. Uh, so do you even get tired after a round over here? What goes through your mind?
Yeah, that's my advantage as well because I'm used to doing 5 minutes per fight, 5 minutes per round kind of fight, and with wrestling and everything with kicks, etc. So for me, 2 minutes is giving me a blue balls in 2 minutes.
That's
so
an awesome way to put it. Yeah.
so 2 minutes is not that tiring, but it's a boxing match. It's no kicks, etc. So two
Right.
minutes kind of bare knuckle is quite long to be honest because
Hmm.
there's no gloves here. Even 30
Right.
seconds kind of fight without gloves is very long. So
Yeah.
that's
Right. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see you fight. For me, right? When I see Asian fighters going outside of Asia, going to Europe or the US, we are normally put against people they want to win, and they'll always throw a challenge to us, which is what seems to be the case even with you. So, but you've been a giant killer in the past. I'm sure you'll be a giant killer now. And
yeah.
my hope is to see you become a Banneker world champion because that is where I
I
see your career headed. So I hope you get that.
will by God's grace, I will.
Yeah. And so coming back to your team, which you've built, you said you have a fight gym, and you have some amazing, killers out there. You had a couple of people fighting in Brave. You have a Banneker champion in house already, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did this team come around? Have you been building this team for a long time? Because you and I got
Oh,
in touch with about 2 years ago, and the team was still new at that time, right?
yeah. I just started my gym during pandemic 2020,
Hmm.
and all of them came from zero.
Right.
So, but I'm just showing them what to do. Like,
Hmm.
I don't drink. I don't have any vices. I'm not clean. I'm a flamboyant, arrogant guy, but I don't drink. I don't have any vices. I don't party. I'm not a womanizer. I'm not a womanizer. My testosterone is high, but I'm not a womanizer. So, so I don't have anything other than fighting. So I'm showing them how to do it. So you need to be obsessed
Hmm.
and very passionate in this sport for you to level up right away. So I have this Alan Way Coco
Hmm.
who's now actually he's a bare knuckle champion now
Right.
in in MMA in the Philippines, and now he will make his debut in BKFC Asia in
Wow.
November against the Russian, and I think he will win.
Hmm.
And I have two international fighters in Brave.
Hmm.
One is Rafael, who is a monster. He lost his last fight, but I believe he's one. I think in his level now, he's one of the best in the world now. He
Hmm.
just need to prove it if he fights someone who's really good.
Right.
And I have Kenneth Maningat. I have a lot in. I have few professional boxers who are winning in professional boxing scene.
Hmm.
So my goal now is to have a BKB team and MMA team. That's why I'm pushing them to those who wants to do boxing can do boxing, so that I'm pretty sure after I win my fight next week,
Mhm,
by God's grace, I'll finish Hilliard fast.
mhm.
I'm pretty sure more from my team will follow me in BKB. So I want to open more doors for them.
Oh, that'll be awesome. And you have been opening doors because it's difficult sometimes for people from Asia to get the right connects to fight in the highest organizations. Even Brave is not easy to get into, but you managed. I think Rubel and I forgot the other Manigat, right? Is the other one
What?
in there? The two fighters in Brave. There's Rubel Panales and there's who's the other
Well,
one?
get Maninga.
Manigat. Yeah, yeah. And I think Rubel had a controversial fight with Mohammad Farhad.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was your take on it? Because back in India, people love Mohammad Farhad,
yeah.
and it was a controversial finish. But what do you make of that fight?
Man, Muhammad Farhad was mo- more of a veteran compared to me. Actually, I
Uh-huh.
have a lot of fights, so almost have the same experience, and he's fighting for more than 4 years more than me.
Right.
He's a so and he was losing that fight. Was losing that fight to a 2 year young fighter.
Hmm.
He was a 2 year young fighter. I see he was a newbie. I consider him a white belt in MMA, Ruel. A strong white belt in MMA.
Hmm.
But he was losing that fight. He was getting outclassed in the takedowns in the wrestling,
Hmm.
and he was getting caught in the striking, etc.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that it's a one-sided fight, but basically he was losing in that fight. So I mean, I don't want to accuse him of intentionally kicking the groin of Roel,
Hmm.
because Roel was left-handed and Farhad was a right-handed. So if it's always a possible if both of them are kickers, Roel was a kicker,
Right.
and Farhad was a kicker.
Hmm.
So the possibility of 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 hitting the groin was high because all of left-handed versus right-handed and a kicker. So I understand that, but overall, I think he was getting outclassed very well in that fight. And if Farhad I really want to see that rematch in the near
Hmm.
future. If Brave will go to India, I want to see Farhad versus Roel too in
Right.
135.
Right. Same here because I saw exactly the same thing you saw because Rubel was really, really, outscoring Mohammad Farad on all parameters.
Yeah,
So yeah, a rematch is definitely called for. So if Brave is watching, if Mohammad Farad is watching, we the fans deserve a rematch because we need a clean finish to find out who the better man is without any
even if
controversy.
you can do it in India.
We should, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and visit India again. It's a very nice country. The culture was nice,
Okay.
and the culture is very nice. The food is very nice. So I hope when Brave come back to India, I hope Ruel Pañales and Farhad too will happen.
Uh, I hope that as well. The fans in India would love to see that fight.
Yes, sir.
Right. Uh, so the other members of your team, they are all almost everybody right now is on a winning streak, and I I think URCC is the local promotion that you send them to cut their
Yeah,
teeth in, and you have multiple champions out there.
yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how that works? I mean, do you do the matchmaking or do you just offer that, I have fighters. If you have a
Uh,
matchup, throw them in and I'm sure they'll win. How does it work?
they just give me an offer. If do I have a fighter like at this weight, then I'll give my fighter. I
Hmm.
don't I don't pick fights, because I don't like cherry picking. I'm a warrior with honor.
Mhm.
I have this warrior mindset and ideas.
Mhm.
Some fighters like to pretend that. So they like to pretend that they're good because they have good records.
Mhm.
Chat that. I hate that, you know. When some of them like have this 10-0, they will brag that they have 10-0. But when you look at their topology, who they fought, like bunch of guys who can sprawl,
Right.
bunch of guys who doesn't have jiu-jitsu,
Mhm.
bunch of guys who doesn't have wrestling, a bunch of debutants, even they are 7-0 already,
Right.
they are still fighting debutants, etc. So I don't like that.
Mhm.
So I'm creating an army of warriors, and I want them to get tested
Mhm.
early, not a mismatch kind of fight, but I want them to get tested in the fights so
Mhm.
that they will train really hard.
Right. No, that is a great way to make sort out who a good fighter is, and whether they can go ahead or not.
Yeah,
And I see this a lot in the US as well. What you mentioned, especially in boxing, people
yeah.
cherry pick for the first 10 to 15 fights, and they build a record, and then they say, I'm a 15 and no loss record, and give me a title fight. So I'm glad you're not doing that. Your fighters are coming, tested by
In
fire.
in the Philippines,
Mhm.
they even like buy some fights
Oh wow.
so buy some wins so that they get good record and fight abroad and they get murdered abroad, but they get a lot of money. So that's the sun. That's I'm not saying that all everyone is doing it, but I've been in the game for the longest time, so I know it's happening.
Right. And the Philippines, for a small country, has produced many world champions, especially in boxing.
Yeah,
And but you have been leading the way in MMA and now in BKB. But you still get a lot of trolls coming your way. I can see from a lot of people, they like to attack you. And sometimes when you don't achieve something yourself, you want to attack somebody else who does. So does that happen a lot, or has it increased over the last few years?
yeah, that's happen a lot. Actually, I have a I have a legal battle now.
Okay.
Some girl like filing a complaint against me because she said I called her fat. You know.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
That okay. So that is. I don't even know how to respond to that, to be honest.
I mean, it's yeah. I mean, people are hate most of the people in the internet are hater but sensitive. You know,
Yeah.
they are hater and sensitive. They like to talk shit. They like to pretend. They like to like that, but they're too sensitive. You know,
Right.
I like I don't like I don't like to be controlled with my emotions. I don't like I'm an emotional guy, but I try my best. I try my best not to be controlled with my emotions because when you get controlled by emotions, you do stupid things. You even in fighting, if you're emotional,
Mhm.
if you feel fear, if you feel angry, if you feel happy or what, you will feel you will not perform well. So nah, that's why I see in the internet now
Mhm. Yeah.
most of them are they're very emotional and
Mhm.
they can handle they are hater because they are sad about their life. They're not living their dream,
Right.
and they like to hate on people who's trying to reach their dream,
Mhm.
who are trying to do good in their life, who are living a good life. They're hating those kind of people, and it's hard to be honest now in the internet because if you're honest, they think you're arrogant.
Mhm.
So most of the guys now in the internet, they like to pretend, they like to lie about themselves, you know. So they like to pretend that they agree on something even they don't. So I don't like that. So
Right.
maybe that's the reason why they I get attacked a lot. I get attacked a lot.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can see, we are friends on Facebook, so I can see your social media posts. And, one thing I can say is, you share a lot of stuff. I don't agree with all of them, but
Yeah,
you're honest. I know who Gab is. I know what Gab believes because of all of that. So there is no hiding behind what you are. And
yeah,
like you said, a lot of people, they like to pretend, they like to show an image which is not really true, and
yeah.
you're not doing that. So please, stay the way you are, don't change, because this is
Thank
this
you.
is amazing. Right. So what does your wife think, when all this hate comes your way? I mean, does it affect her?
Actually, it affects her sometimes,
Hmm.
especially if if it, yeah, if it affects her, girls are
Right.
emotional being. But I'm trying to to teach her that she needs to master her emotion as well,
Hmm.
because people can't destroy me. People can destroy me because I don't do any illegal shit. I don't do any illegal shit.
Right.
I never stole money from any other people. I even give my friends money help if they need it, and I like to help. I like to help my fighters, etc. And no one can destroy my life. Though no one can destroy my life if even they try to. No one can destroy my life because I'm always legal. I don't have vices, and I'm always legal. I don't cheat on my wife. I don't cheat on my wife, so my family always intact.
Hmm.
My marriage is always stuck. I don't I don't do illegal things so that I will not go to jail. So that I will not go to jail, and I don't have so that I don't have a problem like that. I'll always follow the law,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm saying to my wife, that let them hate, let them talk shit about me, but the end of the day, if if we are happy as a family, because we are doing what's we're doing the right thing, we're doing legal things, we are happy, we don't have enemies, we never fooled anyone, we never stole money.
Hmm.
So as long that we as a family is happy, no one can destroy us. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling her. So I'm not worried with anything. I'm
Hmm.
not worried with anything. I'm not worried with any person trying to destroy me or trying to destroy my family, because no one can destroy me because God is in my favor.
Right. Well, I'm happy to hear that, and you have a very strong family, and I can see that your wife is a big pillar in your life, and she's been supporting you during a lot of hard times. I could see that.
Yeah.
Uh, but before you got married, before you met your wife, did you have any other person who was supporting you? Who was your biggest inspiration growing up?
My uncle.
Okay.
I like it's a secret. It's not a secret that I didn't grow up without a father. We are a broken family.
Hmm.
We're a broken family. That's the reason I always take care of my family, because Gabi. I don't want Gabi, my eldest, and Sam, my youngest, to grow up with a broken family like me. So I don't want the sadness and the trauma that I felt while I'm growing up. So I'm always protecting my family from me. I'm because the only thing that will destroy my family if I'll go vices. If I become a drunkard, if I do illegal things, if I become a cheater, if
Hmm.
I if I if I if I was if I go go date with other girls. That's the only thing that will destroy my family. So I'm doing my best not to end up, not that my family will not end up like me. So, like, back to the topic, my greatest inspiration was my uncle. My uncle, because he was like 12 years old when I arrived in his care,
Wow.
but
Okay.
he treat me as his son. He
Mhm.
treat he treat me as his son. He supported my career. He supported me. Even I'm a violent kid before. I always punch people in the school. He always go there in the guidance office, talking to the teachers, solving my problems, and he always guide me to the even. I'll admit I'm naturally a bad person. You know what I mean. I'm a naturally a bad person because I'm a seed of the bad boy from General Santos City, Lando Navarrete, the world champion. He is a bad boy, so I am naturally a bad boy, but I was raised in a good home. I was raised knowing God. I was raised knowing God, knowing my Savior, Jesus Christ. I was raised in a Christian family. So I'm doing my best to be a good person. Even I'm not sure the bad guy because I have tendencies, but I'm doing my best to make my uncle proud, to make my God proud, to stay away from 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 the mistakes that my father did, so that I will not end up like him. My family will not end up like his family. So then my greatest inspiration was my uncle because he was teaching me, he was guiding me, he was teaching me. Even he's raising a lion. He's raising he was raising a violent, hot-headed, bad kid, but he was raising me to be a good person, to be non-violent, to be. I mean, I was supposed. I think if I was raised in a different home, I think I'm a criminal now. I think I'm a
Wow.
criminal. I think I'm because I know I have tendencies to be a bad person, but I was raised to be in a good home. I was raised by a good person, and I'm trying to be a good person as well. And of course, I want to be a good Christian as well.
Right.
So yeah, my greatest inspiration was my uncle.
We need to thank your uncle. So send my thanks to him if he's around anywhere, because
Yeah,
it's very difficult to come out from such childhood trauma, and I can understand. People can read up details about about your father, and they can know what happened in the past, but as a child it must have been very traumatic, and for you to come out of that, and I would not say you're a bad person, it's just bad circumstances so in the past. But the fact that you're where you are right now, that is amazing. And to come out and become a world champion and now lead others and motivate others, I would say you're an inspiration. So
thank you
don't
so
call
much.
yourself a bad person. All of us have some bad tendencies. It's not just you, no matter which family you're from. It's just about what we do from there. So, and you're doing an amazing job,
Thank you.
right? uh, just a couple of questions about your other fighters. You have some new fighters now who are coming out, and I believe some of them are entering jiu-jitsu as well, right? And you are more of a striker than a wrestler, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I'm more of a striker. Yeah,
Yeah.
but my wrestling and my grappling is pretty good. If
Mhm.
we talk about the MMA standard of Philippines,
Okay.
so yeah, but my striking is my number one weapon because if I'm fighting abroad,
Mhm.
I can't. Especially I'm fighting a someone who's been in a country like Brazil, Kyrgyzstan. I can't. Whatever I do, Whatever kind of training I will do, I can't chase the level of their rolling partners there. I
Hmm.
can't chase the level of their wrestling partners there.
Right.
The level of strength of the wrestlers in that country, I can't chase that. So most of the time, I just defend the takedown and punch him in the face. That's it. But if sometimes if I fight like Magic Man, he's 6 wins, 6 by knockouts. Matsushima 5 wins, 5 by knockouts.
Hmm.
Sometimes I go for the takedown. Sometimes
Okay. Got it. So, what has been the best fight in your career till now that you have enjoyed?
I think that on the my world championship fight,
Uh-huh.
I fought a Kazakh fighter, Asian. I think Asian or world grappling champion.
Hmm.
He's a champion in Kazakhstan. He's a sambo champion. He has a 16-6 record in MMA. He's MMA champion as well. And what's that? What's his name? I forget. Was forget I forgot about his name. But he's a very good fighter.
Hmm.
Everybody expect me to lose against that guy because I'm a Filipino striker. But when he took me down, I stand up, then strike with him again. When he took me down, I stand up, defend a takedown, etc. Then I won the belt, my world title belt. So that's my favorite fight in my MMA career.
Right. I love it. Love it. And tell me about your UFC stint. You had two losses, then a win, then a loss again. But all fights, from what I know, were very, very exciting. So,
Yeah,
how did you enjoy the journey out there?
I was. I think I was unlucky. I don't believe in luck, but I will just use the term on the fight because most of the guys from the Philippines who entered UFC, they had 4 months to prepare, 2 months to prepare. So when I entered UFC, I was like in a wine party with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Then they called me 10 days before the fight because a Chinese got injured and I fought like a 12-year veteran, Alex Caceres.
Hmm.
And I almost beat Alex. I just injured my eye. In the scene 10 days notice, I got big. I was out of shape,
Hmm.
but I gave him a fight. I think arguably, I think I won the second round, but the doctor stopped the fight because I damaged my eye.
Yeah.
Then they gave me Teruto in my second fight.
Hmm.
I think I should knock him out. I mean, I kick his groin twice, but I think the first knee. This is. I'm sorry, Teruto, but I need to share this in public. I damaged the rib of Teruto in that fight. He acted. He acted like I in the first knee.
Okay.
He acted that it was in the groin, but the damage is a knee in the rib, and he told me that in the Singapore. He's
Wow.
told me that thank you for the teaching because of that fight. I respect you more because I damaged my ribs in that fight. That's the reason I didn't fight for a year.
Wow.
So I know it's not a groin shot. So I supposed to won that fight, but the referee didn't saw the knockout. I think I knocked out Ruto with a knee. So
Hmm.
I lost on that fight. It should be a win or a draw.
Yeah.
But they minus me 1 point because of the groin shot.
Right.
So I was unlucky. Second, so then they told me they will cut me from UFC.
Hmm.
So I didn't didn't train for like 2 months.
Right.
Then another 10 days notice they gave after they told me that after they told me they will cut me from UFC. So I didn't train for 2 months. Now
Right.
they offered me to fight in China. 10 days notice.
Hmm.
I was like 78, then I was like, I need to fight at 66 kg.
Hmm.
So I accepted the fight. Accepted the fight. I don't have courage, etc., but I won the fight. Split decision.
Hmm.
The second fight, and my last fight in UFC,
Hmm.
I tore my ACL,
Wow.
and I don't want to back out just because I tore my ACL. Partial tear. I can't walk.
Hmm.
I can walk. I can walk right against Shane Yang, and I still gave Shane Yang a fight. We won the fight of the night. I gassed out because I was not running because of my partial ACL tear.
Right.
And yeah, I think I was very unlucky on my UFC career, but I enjoyed it.
Hmm.
And I'm not privileged like those fighters who enter UFC. I'm privileged that some of them some of them entered UFC for 2 years, 2 months notice, 3 months notice.
Hmm.
Mine is different, I have like 3 late notice fights
Yeah.
and 1 injury, and 2 late notice fights, and I fought with a partial ACL tear, and
Right.
one supposed to be a knockout win. So
Hmm.
I think I don't know. I'm just but it is what it is.
Yeah. And last minute fight seems to be the trend here because even Brave, from what when I was following you when you were in Brave, even they gave you a couple of last minute fights, didn't
Yeah,
they? So what happened there in Brave?
because I was known to say yes. I always say yes.
Uh-huh.
If there's a fight, I always say yes. Like what I said. I'm living in a warrior kind of mindset.
Right.
Yeah, I am living this kind of ideals. I'm always. I don't know if I'm obsessed with the samurai kind of lifestyle. I follow those ideals of samurais, etc. That if there's a challenge, you should fight.
Hmm.
Right?
Right.
What's the reason of training for being a samurai, etc.? If someone challenge you and you will look it up, oh, quite big. I don't want to fight. You know. Oh,
Right.
he is good. I don't want to fight. The chances of me dying, I don't want to fight. The chances of him winning is high. I don't want to fight. I only fight when I'm fighting a samurai who is not that good. It's not that kind of lifestyle. Samurais. They
Hmm.
will fight till death. They will fight with honor,
Hmm.
regardless of if they will be defeated or not. Like like according to Yamamoto, right?
Hmm.
Like regardless, the chances of winning is low. Retaliate. He said that regardless if the chances of winning is very low. Retaliate.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm. That's kind of martial artist philosophy I'm living. I'm
Okay.
always training. I'm always training. So if there's a fight offer,
Hmm.
why said no if I'm healthy, if I can fight?
Hmm.
Why say no?
Right.
Oh yeah, that's what that's what I'm saying.
Makes sense.
That's why Brave like me. I always guess a fight.
Uh-huh. Gab, are you there? I think I lost you for a minute. Gab? Okay, we seem to have lost Gab. So we'll try and get him back in a bit. But that was an interesting take that he had. So we'll hope. I'm hoping that he can rejoin sometime soon. But in case he hasn't been able to rejoin, uh, yeah, he's joining in a sec. But yeah, that's been amazing. And one of the critical aspects of fighting, apart from preparing in a full-fledged camp, which from what I see Gab never had, is the weight cut. So when he comes back, I would hope to touch upon the topic of weight cuts with him because he said he cut about 10 to 12 kgs, uh, 10 to 12 days out from a fight. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does that. So we'll just wait for him to join back. I think we have him back. Yeah, we
Uh,
have Gap back.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my iPhone overheated, so
that's
I
okay.
need to transfer phone.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, we've been talking for a long time as well. I won't take you too long, maybe 10 minutes more, and then we can wind up.
Okay.
But it's been so amazing talking to you. It's been almost an hour. We didn't even realize it. So
Thank you.
that's been amazing. So yeah, I was just telling the audiences that when we prepare for a fight, whether it's an MMA fight or a boxing fight, we normally have a camp. 3 months to 4 months is normally minimum. And you've been a fighter who's been training your entire life, and you always stay ready, which is why you jump into a fight. But the
Yeah.
second aspect is the weight cut, because weight cuts are the ones which are most difficult. And you said you cut about 12 kilograms in about 10 to 12 days.
No, I just cut now because I'm fighting in lightweight. I'm just cutting 8 kg for
Okay.
5 days.
So when you had the UFC fight, the last minute 10-day notice fight, how much did you have to cut at that point?
Like I got like 14 kg for the 14, like wait, let's see, 6,
Wow.
7, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. 12 kg in 5 days, I think.
Wow. How do you do that? We need to know the secret. Yeah.
I researched about it, in Google.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, my baby was crying.
That's okay.
I researched it about in Google. I follow the format.
Hmm.
I follow the 5 days format. That's also our secret in the gym. We weight
Okay.
cut.
Uh-huh.
So most of the guys here in the Philippines, they don't know how to cut.
Yeah.
So they are good, but in the fight they're very small. So here in my team we cut like Dagestanis. So we cut like Dagestanis here. We cut at least 8 kg in 5 days, 7 kg in 5 days.
Wow.
When we come back 10 kg in the 5 day. So
Wow.
that's what we do here. That's why we dominate here. But outside, everybody was doing it.
Yeah.
Every foreigner was doing it. Everyone was cutting it.
Uh-huh.
So you can't use just size
Mhm.
size advantage in the international. You just need to be good as well. But
Right.
here
Absolutely.
in BKB, no weight cutting here in BKB because the weighing is 9 a.m. Then we fight at 5 p.m.
Oh wow. Okay, that's so no weight cuts at all.
Maybe I'll cut if I'm lazy to diet. But maybe I'll cut not that big, not that big.
Right.
I'll just cut enough for me to recover for 7 hours.
Gotcha. Gotcha. But yeah, best of luck. Best of luck for the fight. We all looking forward to the fight. And you said you have a long-term contract, right? How many fights do you have in BKB as in the contract?
I have unlimited in 3 years.
Unlimited 3 years. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I hope we see a lot more of you in BKB, because at the
Yeah.
end of the day I want to see you as a BKB champion, and maybe I don't know if they have the Police Gazette out there as well.
Yeah. Police
But
Gazette. Yeah.
yeah, so I hope you get both the BKB and the Police Gazette title. That will be amazing to see. Yeah.
Yeah. And also BYB. BYB. They are partners.
Oh wow. Okay. So
They're
yeah.
that's their partner
Mhm.
in US. Then the partner BYB in England was BKB. So
Great.
yeah, man, I'm training really hard.
Hmm.
I'm training really hard. I'm always training. I'm always
Great.
training, and I'm living a warrior's lifestyle since I
Hmm.
started this journey.
Right.
So let's see my what God has something to me. What God's plan to me in this new sport. But my plan on BKB is to finish George Hilliard early.
Okay.
If he survive, then maybe I'll point him. But I'm plan of finishing Joe Hilliard early so that I can fight in Auto Arena again in November 25.
Awesome. So yeah, that's the plan. And if George is watching, yeah, Gab is going to come and finish you early. That's the plan. Any word for him before we wind up for the day?
Um, what's that? He's a good guy. He's also a daddy, and that's the reason I'm nice to him. As a
Uh-huh.
daddy, I can see that he's a responsible father
Right.
and responsible husband. We are all fathers.
Hmm.
So, but at the end of the day, I will not let him get a food on my table that's supposed to be to my children.
Right.
So I'll fight for my children. He fight for his children,
Hmm.
and nobody will die. Nobody will die because it's a sport. But we will fighting for our families. So
Right.
it will be a fight. It will be a professional fight, like we are fighting for our lives. So it will be a good fight.
Hmm.
It will be a good fight. But yeah, I will go there with all that I've got, and I will try to finish him for my family.
Right. Great. Amazing words. Very respectful. And I'm so glad we were able to talk to you today. I think we'll wind up because it's been an hour. I didn't even realize it's an hour, and this happens with guests I enjoy talking to, and I really enjoyed talking to you, Gab.
Thank you so
So,
much. Thank you so much, sir.
yeah. So thanks a lot for joining.
You have
And
contacts in WBC, right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you work with WBC now, right?
I do work with WBC. Yes.
If you ever need, maybe in the future, because some of my guys are four rounders at the moment, because I'm starting to do boxing, to enter
Right.
boxing industry. Maybe
Hmm.
if in the future you need six rounders, 10 rounders to fight internationally in India or anywhere, you need to. Yeah, we always fight here.
No,
So
absolutely. No,
just in
The
case.
Incredible is top of my list. For
Thank you so
WBC,
much.
WK, and everything. Yeah. So anytime I need somebody, I'm gonna reach out to you for sure.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Gab. And
Thank you so much. God bless, boss. Thank you so much.
thanks.